Our next guest is a former Miss United States, and so you're wondering why I'm sitting here holding this pillow is because I don't want her to see my muffin top. Look who I'm sitting with.
Well, because she has a new book all about her weight loss success. Please welcome Sheri Rose Shepherd.
Oh, it's great to have you. If you have a craving, I have a cure. That's your book.
Yes.
And we all have cravings.
I know. I was sick and tired of the dieting and what you can't have, so I give you a healthy version of everything you want.
So, okay, what makes yours different from any other that's out there?
Well, I'm a former food addict.
Okay.
My idea of cutting calories is stop licking the plate.
Yeah.
There's a ton of humor in it, so it's laugh and lose weight, because I think if you add humor to it, it's got a DVD video coaching to go with it. So you can go into my kitchen with me, and even though I'm not the best cook, so don't be impressed, I just like healthy raw foods. But I realized after losing 60 pounds myself that when I found healthy versions of food I crave, it kept me on my diet.
What are the most popular, what are the most popular substitutions?
Well, there's a lot, but like chocolate, let's do raw chocolate, so there's a lot of raw chocolate kind of recipes, or food for comfort, so there's a lot of healthy version of like comfortable, comfort foods, and then I have a section called New Life Recipes, so it's like if you're craving adventure, here's some things you can do. If you're craving relaxation, here's some actual life application, and then that goes with the recipes, and then I have humorous stories in it, because women love to laugh.
But here's the kicker.
Okay, what's a kicker?
You're dyslexic, and you wrote a book.
Now,
come on,
okay,
that's pretty amazing.
I never thought I'd be an author, that's for sure. I had an English teacher that told me I was born to lose in life. And I believed her for a long time. And I really went downhill from that, and the Homecoming King calling me Sheri the Whale. I don't know if you have my before picture, but
do we have a before and after picture, Stuart?
You lost.
Okay.
So as a teenager, you were you obese or just overweight?
I was 60 pounds overweight, and I was very insecure. My parents have been married and divorced 3 times each, so I've become part of 5 blended families. And when my parents divorced, I was one of the only ones in my class. No one was really divorced. I just turned 52. I'm turning 52 actually, May 8th. And I realized now that I'm getting older, we need joy in our life. And so I didn't want to do another book that brought bondage. I wanted to do a book that brought freedom. And so for me, it's like, yeah, I want to eat healthy, but
with all the adversity, how did you get free? What was the turning point for you, where your self-respect came into full bloom, where your awareness of what a wonderful person you are, the ability to write a book? Tell me what that came from.
Well, I have a pretty dramatic story. I was the producer for Mrs. Arizona, and I just miscarried our 3rd baby, and my husband and I were in the middle of a bankruptcy, and I called the director of Mrs. United States of America, said, I can't produce your pageant. And they said, we're going to sue you then if you do not come in and stand in for your state. So I was just standing in for my state, and I won the crown. And after I won the crown, the media attacked me from big media, like Inside Editions and those kind of medias and National Enquirer, and they said they found my before picture, addicted to drugs, 60 pounds overweight, and they were going to blast my past all over the media, so I was kind of forced to interview with them. And in those interviews, publishers started coming after me going, we need you to write a book on your life.
Oh my gosh, this turned out to be such a good thing.
Right, but in the time, I was like, no way. I was scared and couldn't understand what was going on. And I was a director and a producer at the time. I wasn't ever planning on being on the front of the camera, and I was thrown into the front lines. And I let the publisher know, I'm dyslexic. I barely got out of high school with D's. And they said, well, write like you speak. So I wrote the book, How You Speak, and the editor called me back and goes, you're right, you can't spell, but you can write, and I don't have to change a single word because the writing is more creative than any book I've edited. And the book hit the bestseller list. And that was my first book, Life's Not a Dress Rehearsal, which is more my life story. And now I've written 11 books and have over 1 million books sold.
What did that do to your self-esteem when it was so damaged as a child?
It was.
And then you walk into the situation that you weren't planning on being the focus of it. You end up winning the crown. What did that do to your self-esteem?
Well, first of all, I realized God had a sense of humor. That was the first thing that hit me. And secondly, I realized that all the pain from my past could be used for the purpose of giving other people hope. And I say when I speak all year. I've been speaking 22 years. I've spoken at thousands of women's events all over the nation. And I say at speaking events often, I realize today God trusted me with pain. He knew what I would do with it. And so that's where I'm at now is, because I'm over 50 now and I kind of am free from what people think, my whole thing now is bringing hope and humor and showing people how they can take their past pain and how God can transform it into something beautiful.
It takes some time. It takes some discipline.
It
And we
does.
want you to hang around with us because we've got much more with Sheri Rose. So stick with us. I think we're going to the kitchen. Are we going to the kitchen?
Next hour.
In the next hour, she's joining us in the kitchen to whip up one of the delicious recipes from her book. We want more of you,
And we
though.
actually did find the before and after, so we'll show
Oh,
it in the
yay.
next. Let's show it in the next segment.
Yeah.
We'll
And
make
I'm
it.
throwing away that pillow.
Thank you.
And living with my
Gotta
muffin
love
top.
yourself.
You're precious.